Hello everybody, video here for you today. There's a ranch in northern Utah that's considered to be the epicenter of the strangest and most disturbing phenomena on Earth. Bizarre UFO sightings, animal mutilations, and unusual energies that have proven harmful to humans. The federal government tried and failed for 20 years to find answers, but now a new team of experts has taken over, determined to reveal the secret of Skinwalker Ranch. This is the Retro No Cap Recap, Secret of Skinwalker Ranch, Season 1, Episode 4, called High Strangeness, aired April 21st, 2020. For more Skinwalker Ranch recaps, there's a playlist link in the upper right. In the previous episode, Dr. Taylor and Thomas began investigating a thick concrete box-like space in the basement of Homestead 1, to which there was no access until Thomas punched a hole in it. He inserted a camera, and on the floor it looks like bones and ash, perhaps a cremation. Caretakers Tom and Candace report strange noises from the basement at night mostly, and vibrations through the floor, which resulted in Thomas's initial investigation before he got Dr. Taylor involved. Dr. Taylor decides to open it up, so Thomas begins sawing through it. Dr. Taylor says he would think an animal had gotten in there and died, but doesn't know how, since the concrete box is completely sealed. Thomas maneuvers into the opening once it's big enough so that he can create a larger opening from the inside. Dr. Taylor soon joins him inside. Dr. Taylor says he'll get samples, but he instead gets the entire pile. He says the concrete chamber is perfectly clean, no water lines, no mold, no dirt on the floor. Later in the command center, a microscope reveals definite bone and hair. They are only fragments, though, nowhere near a complete skeleton, and also are too small to be human. A week later, 40 head of cattle are brought to the ranch. Tom and Eric share a story of former owners, the Shermans, leaving a bunch of cattle in a fenced-off area for minutes, then returning to no cattle. The cattle were found in a trailer where they were standing up catatonic. Dr. Taylor says he is interested to see not only how the cattle behave on the ranch, but also how the ranch behaves with cattle on it. After the previous episode's weather balloon failure in an effort to get more data on the RF radiation from about a mile above the ranch, Dr. Taylor has components for building rockets. The second balloon got to the target area, but as soon as it did, it stopped transmitting data and was not able to be found. Dr. Taylor not only brought the components, but one of his interns from the University of Alabama, Huntsville, to help build them. As they begin assembling the rockets, Dr. Segala points out that the cows have suddenly come into the area. After a successful launch, the rocket stops climbing as high as it should and falls back to Earth without its parachute deployed. The spectrum analyzer inside it broke on impact, but hopefully some data was transferred to the cell phone that is still in one piece. The next rocket will include a gamma ray detector. The team is putting it together when Dr. Segala notices that the cows are now jumping up and down almost, and are abnormally very close to each other. Thomas notices this UAP that moves much too erratically to be a plane is seen moving in the upper left and then leaves super fast to the upper right. Dr. Taylor wants to launch immediately while there is something in the sky. This one is good launch and good shoot deployment. Dragon later says he has been on the ranch a long time without seeing anything, but says he has now seen what he would consider a UFO. The cows are still in this corner, which is as far as they can get away from where the UAP was. Dr. Taylor later says he wondered if them looking up at the rocket led to them seeing the UFO, or if they caused the appearance with the rocket launch. He decides to put another motor in the one they just recovered and send it back up immediately. Before he can, Dr. Segala sees the same UAP in the same spot, but this time there is a jet or something else with a contrail, perhaps tracking it. Eric checks for commercial aircraft with a transponder in the command center, and there are none near the ranch. Dragon asks if anyone else feels queasy, saying he feels a little motion sickness. Dr. Taylor looks at Dragon's vital signs monitor and confirms that his blood pressure and heart rate are both a bit elevated. It's possibly just from adrenaline from his first 2 UFO sightings. After a few more seconds, he says he's okay. Dr. Taylor experienced similar 2 weeks prior inside an opening in the mesa. The team launches again. Good launch, good shoot. Later in the command center, video recording did capture the UFO. Here it is zoomed in. The other data reveals high radiation at 1,000 feet in the air, which again means that it's coming from above the ranch, not below it. Dr. Taylor says he doesn't believe in UFOs, period, but he thinks this is a breakthrough moment because they have seen something with their eyes, they caught it on video, it affects the cow's behavior, and they have corroboration from scientific instruments measuring gamma and RF radiation. Ranch owner Brandon Fugel has requested to be notified about things like this immediately, so Eric sends it to him. He calls Dragon's phone. Brandon says it's historic. He tells of his first such experience on the ranch, seeing this 40 to 50 foot long silverish grayish craft above the mesa that can only be described as a UFO. He says it moved in the blink of an eye. I'll continue recapping new episodes late Tuesday nights as they air, as well as these retro no-cap recaps of the earlier seasons. I'm also doing retro no-cap recaps of The Curse of Oak Island, seasons 6 through 8. All of the other episodes are already done and are in my Oak Island playlist. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe, like, and comment.